If you want to hear my update on my Project 10 uses, then stick around. I am doing so well with this 10 uses project. It feels like the Twilight Zone because a number of months ago I was really struggling with using products, but I think I'm better at understanding what I need to do to be successful. Now, before I get too far, this project is the brainchild of Paula, aka A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It. And Paula is just a sweetheart here on YouTube. She is super supportive of the community. She has a heart of gold, and I would highly recommend, if you have not watched her channel yet, to go and take a look at her videos, her approach. She just is a fantastic human being. And I saw her do the 10 uses. I was intrigued, and I asked her if she would mind me hopping on board and doing the same type of project. And she said, sure, of course, jump on board. And I have, and I've been doing it for a number of months now. And I had, like I said, a few months ago, a few months of really bad progress. And I rejigged things a little bit, and it's working a whole lot better for me. And the premise is you pick 10 products, you use them 10 times each, and every time you reach your 10, you get to roll that or those products out and bring in new ones that you're going to use 10 times again. I'm doing something a little bit different this coming month, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but let's first talk about the products that I used this past month. And I'm going to do a spoiler because I'm just going to show you the page. So the top of the page was last month, and this one right here is the one that I'm just completing now. And what I want you to see is that all of the boxes are completed. And if you see a line across, it's because I ran out of product. It's the only reason that I didn't get to 10. So we're going to go over all of them, but I just want to let you know that each and every one of the products that I had in my 10 uses, I finished. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to tell you how I use them, but it is a big spoiler. I just managed to use each one of the products 10 times, 10 products 10 times in a month's time. Super happy. So first off, I've got the Sephora holographic, and I decided to use this product as a whole palette. And I used either the blushes or the highlighters or a blush and highlighter combo. And it just solidified for me that I think that this palette is fantastic if you can still get it. The highlighters really are the belle of the ball. I don't think that these 3 colors of blushes are all that revolutionary, but they do make really, really good pairings with each other. And I'll put the swatches video right there if you haven't really seen them in action. It was really easy to use this. It just really was. Next up, I used this Anastasia Moonchild, and I do use highlighters in different ways. I use them on the cheekbone, I use them on the brow bone, and I also use them usually on the inner to up to 2/3 of the lid. And that's exactly what I did with this one. And I really discovered this palette because it's pretty new to me. And I used all of them. And I definitely have some preferences. Let me just put it this way so you can read the names. I do certainly have some preferences. I do like the purples. This Lucky Clover was super nice as a green. I did mostly use this Pink Heart as a blush topper. And Blue Ice reminded me a lot of a Fenty highlighter. And Stars was a very icy color that I could also use on the brow bone. So I used this one on the brow bone, this one on the brow bone, and also Blue Moon on the brow bone as well. This is a really nice palette if you prefer cool tones and blues and purples. I think that a lot of folks would like it. And I am, like I said, very partial to Lucky Clover. I think it's a very pretty green. So I had no problem using these. I used this palette at least, obviously 10 times, but a number of them that I repeated multiple times. And another Anastasia highlighting palette is the Dream Glow Kit. Now mine is beat up because it did arrive with 4 of the 6 highlighters shattered and it was discontinued. So what they did is they just refunded my money. So you'll see that 4 of them look pretty funky. And I was able to discover a lot of them. One thing that I will say is magic does not look at all on the eye as it does in the pan, which is really kind of neat. It looks more of a kind of pinky gold than it does in the pen. In the pen, it almost has a green hue. And Wish was also quite a delightful surprise, and I enjoyed both of these on the eye. I also enjoyed Ethereal on the eye. Sunshine, I managed to use Inner Corner and Brow Bone. This one is just Unicorn, I think. Yeah, it's just a really pretty glowy highlighter that draws to the pink. I'm hoping that comes through. Which one am I missing? I think I talked about, oh, Regal. Regal also, it looks like a very kind of basic highlighter, but you have to really swatch these to know what they're going to look like. And it's a peachy gold, but as a topper over eyeshadow, it really helps a neutral look pop. So I was happy with all of these, and it just, my opportunity to use them as a whole 10 times really helped me familiarize myself with the palette, and it's one that I would not hesitate to go to if I want to amp up an eye look. I think they're great. So again, none of these were a challenge. I just ended up using them quite readily to finish up an eye look or to finish up highlighter on the face, and it went really well. Now the next one here is a lip palette. It's a lip palette that I have not been getting enough use out of, and this is the ABH lip palette. And you'll see quite a few places where I dipped into this palette repeatedly. And I ended up using 10 times, of course, because it's a 10 uses project. And I had a couple of nice surprises. I really enjoyed using this kind of a rusty colored lipstick, and I ended up using it with a green look here on YouTube. I enjoyed this one, which is a very nice neutral lipstick, and it was a nice rediscovery. And the kind of fuchsia pink colors I also enjoyed using quite a bit, and well, I think I made good use out of it. And I even went for this kind of hot pink fuchsia, and so it was a good experience. The only thing that I'm going to say about this is I think that I would only use it for filming, and that is because I don't want to be dragging a palette around to do touch-ups and such. It's just too much of a hassle. But to put a color on for the purposes of filming and being able to modify the color with these down here, I really do have to use this palette more, and the 10 uses did convince me that it's not that big of a deal to use this palette to be ready to film, and that I should really play with it more because it's quite versatile, and I tend to overlook it, and hopefully the 10 uses will make me more aware of it and more likely to reach for it because I've kind of developed a habit with it, with the 10 uses. In fact, I liked it so much I was even semi-shopping for another lip palette from Smashbox. Now I did not buy it, but this one was convincing enough as far as the usability of a lip palette that I was even considering another one. So that says something about the product. And the lipsticks are matte lipsticks. They do dry down. They do, I mean, they'll come off if you kiss your hand or whatever, you'll see color, but they are long lasting, which is kind of nice. Now, another product that I had for 10 uses was this Stella, I think. Oh, Juliet Has a Gun. And it's called Not a Perfume. And I decided to do a perfume sample. Now, I used it enough that within 5 uses, because I was using it on my wrists and on my décolleté, I ended up going through it before I got to 10 uses, and I ended up using 3 samples total. My Way, which was a really surprising perfume. I'm terrible at describing notes, I will not try, but out of the three, I think this one was my favorite. And then there's this Stella McCartney. It doesn't say anything other than Stella McCartney. So I ended up managing to finish 3 perfume samples, and pretty happy about that in my 10 uses, because I did way more than 10 uses and got through 3 samples. I think that's great. Now, 2 products where when I showed you there was a line across because I didn't have enough uses. One of them was the Living Proof Restore Spray, which I managed to use 4 times before I ran out of the sample. I'll have a picture on the screen for each of these. And then the other one is the Wave Spray. I really liked that product, and I think I got 6 uses. I got 8 uses, and then the last 2 days I had run out. So out of the 2, I have to say that the Wave Spray has made me really interested in finding something similar for less, because Wave is pretty expensive. And I ended up going to the drugstore and grabbing 3 curl enhancing options because I'm trying to get my hair more curly than ever before. And so I'm trying 3 new products based on my experience with Way. It's just convinced me that I can keep looking for the best products, because my favorite leave-in conditioner I can't easily get anymore, and I'm just trying to find texturizing sprays and curl enhancing sprays that would work. If you have any suggestions for me, I would be all ears. But definitely the Wave Spray from Way was a really great experience, and I'm glad I used up the sample. It was a lot of fun. Next, I have this Boscia Porefecting White Charcoal Primer. And I have to say, I got a little nervous about this one, whether I was able to use the 10 uses or not. And I finished the 10th use yesterday because I had this other primer that would just not die. I kept using it and using it and using it, and I'm just trying to think of what the primer was. Hang on, I will check. Oh yeah, it was the Urban Decay Complexion Enhancing Primer, Optical Illusion Complexion Enhancing Primer, and there was so much in that sample that it was the sample that would never die. And I ended up just under the wire getting my 10 uses with the Boscia Porefecting White Charcoal Primer, because the Urban Decay lasted so long. I thought that was funny that I was going to fail my 10 uses because I wanted to finish up one primer before using another. I was punishing myself on a panning project because I was panning. Go figure. But having said, I like it. It is mattifying. I only use it in my T-zone because the rest of my face tends to be quite dry and I don't really want to mattify things any further. But it's a good primer and it's a very good size sample, and I will keep using it. Next is a product that I don't think that I have as a habit again, but I'm very happy to have revived it, which is the Maybelline Eye Studio in Blackest Black. And I did use a mixing medium to revive it, and it works just fine. But I have 2 felt liners that I want to use up. One of them is the Clinique Pretty Easy liner, and I also want to use up a tattoo liner from Kat Von D, which you will see very soon in this very video. So I'm glad I got 10 uses out of it, but I'm just going to move it out of the way for a while for me to finish 2 liquid liners. And I also got 10 uses out of this Brow Luxe, which is a brow pencil. Well, it's a makeup company, but their product right now is Brow Pencil. And it does remind me a whole lot of the ABH Brow Wiz. It has a spoolie on one side, and it does have a different tip than the ABH pencil. As you can see, it's triangular. This one is in taupe, and it is very nice. I stopped at 10 uses because I do want to have some more of this to use. I'm not in a hurry to use it up. And I think that when I want my brows but better and nothing too deep, like what I have today is kind of deep, I can go to this one and get a very natural look. And I do like the triangular tip because you can do it sideways where you get a lot of color all at once, or you can also mimic the brow hairs. So I think that the triangular shape is one that I like. Because sometimes when it's a very micro tip, it feels like it takes forever to do the brows, and sometimes you just want a sweep of color, and this will give it to you. So the color match was good for me, and the experience in using the pencil was good. It's about the same price as an Anastasia brow is, basically. And the component is very similar, although I do like the gold. I think it's a nice touch, and I do like what they decided to do with packaging. And that was it. That was 10 products. Whew. So yeah, I finished all of them either because I ran out of product or I did the 10 uses. I'm super happy about that. And now let's talk about the 10 products that I'm going to bring into this 10 uses project. And it is mostly from one company. It is a company, I will have a video on it, but it's a company that I want to start using again. I think it works now for me to use this product in my makeup routine that I share with you here on YouTube. And let's talk about the 10 products. In some cases, I have a group of products that I'm putting as one item. I'm doing something a little bit different this month. I don't think I'll keep doing it this way, but I just want to use categories of this brand as opposed to just maybe one item. So I want to play with all of it. And the brand is KVD Vegan Beauty. So I have a brush that I have not been using and I would like to use it. So I'm going to be using it for 10 times and getting a feel for using it again. So it's been a while. And this is a brush I take traveling, but there is no travel these days. I mean, for me at least, let's get real. I'm not getting on a plane. I think going on a sealed off cylinder with people on the left and right of me and no safety, I'm not flying right now. So I'm not taking any trips, and so I'm not using this brush, and I would like to make use of it. But because it's in a container like this, which I love for travel, I'm not using it. So I want to use this brush 10 times, and I want to pair it with the use of this powder from Kat Von D, which I am not, KVD Vegan Beauty, sorry. And it's that locket powder. So I do want to use this powder 10 times, and I have never even opened it. So time for me to use it. So those two are considered as one item. And next I have these 3 palettes that I want to consider as one item. And it is the Pastel Goth. That looks like this. The 10-year anniversary palette. That looks like this. And a palette that I have not used yet because it came out just as the controversy hit. For me, when I purchased it, it was right before everything, and it's the Metal Matte palette. And the writing is kind of neat because it goes both ways. And it is a very neutral but very, very usable palette and good for this time of year. So those 3 palettes I'm considering as one item. And another 3 palettes that I'm considering one item is these quads from KVD. And I have just the 3 that were of interest to me, so I only have 3 total. There's the Plum, the Sage, and the Rust. And I think I can do some pretty nice neutral looks with these. And so when I say that 3 are considered as one, I want to do a look with the palette. So I'm not going to be going into all 3 to make a look. It's going to be a look with the Pastel Goth, a look with the 10-year anniversary, a look with the Metal Matte. I'm not trying to mix them up. I want to really be one use with a given palette. So if I've got 3 palettes, I'm going to use 2 of them 3 times and 1 of them 4 times, but I don't know what that is going to be. And same goes for these guys. I'm going to consider these one item, and this is the Alchemist Palette, which I have raved about on this channel, and then a translucent glitter shade that is Aquamarine. So let me show you these real quick. So this is the glittery shade Aquamarine, which I am wearing right now on my inner lid, which is on top of Pink Opal. And I also have amethyst on my center lid. So that's a big part of my look today. So I guess you could say I have one use from something from KVD today, and actually a couple more items. Since I had so much fun with the perfume samples last time, I'm going to sign up for using the Saint and Sinner perfume sample that I have here. And if I don't have enough to finish 10 uses, I will just crack into another sample. I have another sample set of this. So if I don't get to 10 uses with these, I have some more that I can keep using. And I also want 10 uses out of this Trooper liner that I've taken out of my backup stash of liners. It's a very nice liner. I do like how it performs, and I do have it on today. So I've got a bit of a head start on this one. And I also have a head start on this one because I'm wearing it as my lipstick today, and it is the Lolita lipstick. I hate the name, but it's a nice color. I hate the name because of what it represents. If your name is Lolita, I don't have a problem with the name. I just have a problem with what it was used for by this brand. I like it. I like it. It won't be a problem for me to use it 10 times. And one brand of liner that I am neglecting that I want to use more is Les Wattiers, and I chose the prune color from the brand because I thought it would go with a lot of the eyeshadow that I am hoping to use this month. And it's a very creamy, beautiful liner formula. Reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay 24/7s. And I think it's because they're minis. I just don't think of using them. Them and the Linda Hallberg, I just don't use those liners enough. And I have a handful of these, and I have at least 10 of the Linda Hallberg pencils. So I'm going to start using those in the 10 uses project for sure. 2 more items and we're done, or categories of items. I also want to get 10 uses out of my KVD Vegan Beauty liquid lips, and I have Double Dare, and this one is Outlaw. I should remember this one. I really like it. It would go really well with my shirt. I should have worn this one today. And the last one is Ludwig. And I think that I have Wolf as well, but for some reason I didn't see it right away. But I'm going to use liquid lipstick from KVD Vegan Beauty 10 times as well. That's what I'm signing up for. And finally, like Les Wattiers, I also have another brand that is not KVD here. And I want to use this Heavy Metals glitter eyeliner. I've got 2 here, but I also have a third one, Sticks and Bones, that is actually on its way to me. It was the birthday gift from Urban Decay. And so that prompted me to think of these 2, which is Midnight Cowboy and Distortion. So I want to use these 2 and Sticks and Bones, which is kind of looks like my nail polish, actually. It's kind of a brownie rust color and bluish green. And I think that it's a really nice color for fall. So these 2 plus the other one, a total of 3 to use for a total of 10 times as well. So there's a lot that I want to use 10 times, but there's also a lot of variety, and I think that it will help me get to something that I want to do, which is to enjoy a brand that has really been sidelined for me psychologically and also on this channel, and just enjoy using products that I did buy that are, I think, good quality, and that is now, I think, supporting an entity that is less problematic. So regardless of what you think of what I'm doing, I have these products. I want to use them. I want to enjoy them, and I will. And so that's all I have to say about it. Super excited about what happened this past month. I have a challenge ahead for the month coming up, and I can't wait to report back. And if you are doing a 10 uses project, I would love to hear how it's going and any trials or tribulations that you have as you go through and use your products. With that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time. And I can't wait to report back next time. We'll see if I can do it 2 in a row. But for now, take care.